feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to work and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters, they're just young downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought.
I can tell you that 7 years after Freddie Gray, that was 2015, spring, April, May. This is 2022. Communities like Sandtown, all we saw then and now in terms of investment was a renovated Western District Police Station and a new funeral home. That's what West Baltimore got. A new police station and a new funeral home. What kind of optics are they? Was Freddie Gray any different than 1968 Baltimore riots? Dr. King's passing, killing, murder? This is the same?
No, it wasn't. I mean, I think, well, first of all, people who are being violent and burning, that's, all that's the same. But the point is what was the cause and what were they attempting to register?
I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns. They deserve an ounce. It's got next. And I'll be up. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God they don't let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. First name's Doni, last name's Glover, in it to win it for the long haul, baby. So, big ups to WEAA. Yesterday, I got the phone call to show up and to host the show. And so, it was good business, and I'll be back today at 4 p.m. on WEAA. And let me just tell you, I was so grateful for the opportunity. Haven't been on the station other than our show, of course. What's that? Hip Hop Chronicles with Mike Nice every Thursday at 12 midnight. We did a taping earlier. But I've been going on WEA since I was 15 years old. So I guess I've been doing it a long time. Nonetheless, we got a new state's attorney sworn in yesterday. Did you see it? I'd love to get your thoughts. Let's go to Baltimore Sun. Longtime defense lawyer Ivan Bates was sworn in Tuesday as Baltimore's top prosecutor, pledging that the city state's attorney's office's first new administration in 8 years would reform the city's violent crime fight. Bates, who won the Democratic primary in July and ran uncontested in November's general election, assumes the post from Marilyn Mosby, who served 2 4-year terms as state's attorney. So I'm going to attempt to be as transparent as possible. But let me read a little more. He distinguished himself from his predecessor, according to the Baltimore Sun, with some of his first words in office, proclaiming during his inaugural address that his assistant state's attorneys would resume prosecuting the low-level offenses. Mosby stopped taking the court. Bates also touted a tough stance on illegal guns, saying he would bring in attorney reinforcements to an office battered by attrition. Are you buying it? That's my question to you. Are you buying it? What do you think? Are you buying it? A lot of you voted for change. That was one race. That was a very interesting race. Bates had gone against it twice and lost. Personally, I wasn't going to be a part of that fight. Bates was taken to what? Says I'm reading the article. Our administration is ready to get to work. Bates was taken to the hospital between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. Tuesday morning for dehydration out of an abundance of caution, said James Bentley, the new state's attorney's office spokesman. Bates was released and attending his swearing-in ceremony on time, describing himself as energized. On stage with the city's ranking politicians and law enforcement officials, Bates approached the lectern with his two daughters and his father, Henry Bates, who held Bates's late mother's Bible. Bates placed his hand on the Bible, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so are you buying it? According to Bates's announcement, this is what I was looking for. This will be his command staff. His chief of staff will be Angela Galliano. Catherine Flynn will be the office's chief operating officer. Greg Solomon Lucas will be one of two deputy state's attorneys. Bates's other deputy state's attorney is Thomas Donnelly. Bates will make $238,000, turning $38,000. So he rolled out an extensive prosecution plan. And again, I'd love to get your thoughts on Mr. Ivan Bates. I'm not going to read this article to you, but I was looking for some of the particulars to share and to review. So I guess a major question is, can Bates do it alone? What do you think? Can Ivan Bates, or will the mayor, will the police commissioner, are all three of these on the same page? I think one of the big challenges, and I've reached out to Dr. Tyrone Powers, have not heard back from him, is the consent decree. No matter what, right now, Baltimore police are operating under the consent decree. And the consent decree is whether or not it has to deal with changing the way police. Right now, for instance, if the police come up on a corner and find some people loitering, they essentially have to run it up the flagpole to get permission to do anything more than ask these people to move. One cop explained it to me like this: you're asking a pit bull to be a pit bull, but you've taken away his teeth, so he has no bite. And I don't know if you've been watching it, but these cops that I'm seeing are not going. I mean, I hear gun arrests are up. I'm hearing the message has not been sent in these streets, though. I don't know what type of law enforcement is being practiced, but the consent decree has stymied the police's ability to do their job. That's what I see. I don't care what experts say on these streets. The people involved in criminal activity, they're not paying much attention to police, fed or local. I hear a lot of times that they're federal investigation is underway. How long does a federal investigation take? How long does it take to figure out somebody is selling dope here and making a lot of money? How long does it take? I mean, I've watched some cop shows. Of course, television is a reality. But how long does it take for you to watch a cat selling dope to know that they break a law? I mean, really? Really? You've been on this corner 10 years, sir? You've been selling dope on this corner for 10 years. So some of this stuff, you know, it's like, okay, I hear what you're saying, and we're going to see how it works. But as long as you have the consent decree in place, I tell you, it's changed the mentality, the personality of the police department. So we'll have to see. But these streets are crazier than ever before. The streets of Baltimore. And we can't blame the young people. As one dear friend of mine explained to me, and white people can't point fingers. White people can't point fingers, not in the city of Baltimore. They play a role in it too. And I'm talking about white powers that be. We've had a Maryland State Lottery in place since 1973 that promised money for education. We've made $15 billion, built 2 new stadiums, football and baseball. Yet we have classrooms in the city of Baltimore without heat and without air. Everybody plays a part in that, including white people. So please don't get on a soapbox and start talking about the squeegee kids when you created, and I mean you, society, black and white, created squeegee kids. You created a welfare system where the father wasn't allowed to be in the home. There's mass incarceration, 3 strikes you're out, omnibus crime bill of 1994, creating one of the largest mass incarceration systems in the world. We are 5% of the world's population, but we have 25% of the world's inmates. We have more inmates than China, starring black people. You have a police force nationally, Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin, Freddie Gray, and the list goes on, and George Floyd goes on and on, where policing, it is acceptable in policing that instead of protecting and serving, generally speaking, the white police officer is focused more on getting back home. So he will shoot somebody 12 to 16 times, and you will justify it. Yet, Fox News Network body slams Marilyn Mosby. Body slam Marilyn Mosby. All day, every day. Let me ask you, was Marilyn Mosby, this is a question for Fox TV, was Marilyn Mosby's actions more egregious than Donald John Trump, a traitor? No. Fox News talks about Marilyn Mosby all day, every day. Really? Seems racist to me. Donald Trump has colluded with Russians. White male gets a pass. White male pass. Truth of the matter, tell me I'm wrong. He's a traitor. He sparked an insurrection where people raided the Capitol and were even going to kill his vice president, Mike Pence. This man should be locked up and certainly should be barred from American politics. But every single day of the week, Fox News is talking about Marilyn Mosby. And it's not normal. It's abnormal. And I have to say something because you know it's wrong. You know it's wrong too. And sometimes when I watch how Fox rapes the mind of Baltimore, Fox News is one of the most depressing stations in the world. Clearly, these people are not from Baltimore. Clearly, these people don't care about the well-being of Baltimore. They even shoved this term limits legislation down our throats. I'm all for term limits. Go for it. But I don't need Fox telling me any damn thing about Baltimore. They are the devil. Sometimes the only ones that cover my events, but I'll just have to forego it to tell the truth. Fox is the devil. And the black people who work there, I'm appalled. I'm on the political, every day, you have to go to work to beat up your own people. I'm grateful for the news coverage for the Black Wall Street Awards, but Fox is the devil. And we as a community have bought into too much of their chicanery. Stop it. Just stop it. Stop watching Fox. It's depressing all day, every day. These people politically assassinate black people for a living. Why? The same people who told you that the black lady couldn't bring her son into the restaurant because he was dressed the same way as a little white kid. These are the people who are telling you what to do politically. And we as a people fall for this chicane. We fall for this stupidity. Shame on us. God gave you a damn brain. You ain't got to go to college to figure out when some people are targeting you. Yes, white people play a role in the destruction of black people and black children here in the city of Baltimore. The way our politicians have to jump through hoops and lie and pretend to be something that they're not, all to be a part of the so-called Democratic regime. Baltimore is 9-1 Democrat. Everything that's messed up with Baltimore is not a damn Republican's fault. It's all Democrats. So you're damn right I'll vote for a Republican for governor. I'd vote for one for mayor, truth be told, because Baltimore's it's just 9-1 Democrats, so there are no checks and balances. And that's what's wrong with Baltimore. We got too many people want to be in the political thing. We want to be in the know. Do we really need career politicians? We need leaders. Elections don't make leaders. We got too many people in politics who think that elections make leaders. Elections don't make leaders. Just because you won an election or stole an election don't mean that you really are genuine. We'll see. We'll see what you really believe, what you really think. We'll see what you stand for. You, the city of Baltimore, the people. Yes, we do need some change. Maybe Marilyn Mosby did lose her way. Maybe she did max out. Maybe she did all she could. She changed Baltimore policing forever. But so did O'Malley. O'Malley brought in this whole zero tolerance method, which locked up more black people than anybody ever in the history. So you got zero tolerance on the far right, and then on the far left, you have the consent decree. Nobody understands that you need something right in the middle. You can't take all of the teeth out of your cops and expect them to do their jobs. Right now, we're watching people sell dope in front of the police, and they do nothing. Go to Penn North. Go to Penn North any given day. 7 years since Freddie Gray. So, no, 8 years. 2015, 8 years since Freddie Gray. Penn North looks the same. Does anybody else see this? Anybody? Does anybody see what's going on in Penn North? Anybody? Anybody? I don't know. Got a Maryland General Assembly about to kick off, new governor about to come in. I don't know. Just, sit back and see how it unfolds. I don't know. I want to be optimistic, but we see a lot of people who are in office and nothing, the needle isn't moving. Maybe things are happening. I don't know. Here we go. Fox News is a detriment to the black community. I stopped watching it. It is negative, racist, depressing, anti-blackness propaganda. Deborah Pierce for Kunle all day long and twice on Sunday. I agree with you. And they control how people think. And so what I see with Fox is it's got a lot of us hating each other. It's like when Africans come in, say Nigerians, before they even get to America, they already have a preconceived notion of who black people are, African Americans, based on mainstream media, as if mainstream media is our friend. Just because they let us on that television station does not mean they're our friend. Baltimore Sun. Remember, the Baltimore Sun had to make an apology to the black community in Baltimore. Did you miss it? Last summer. Do you know why? Because a new newspaper came on the scene, the Baltimore Banner, that bought up all of the Sun reporters. So you're actually seeing a clash of the Titans. Former Baltimore Sun reporters now over on the Banner doing their thing, and then you got the Baltimore Sun, historically racist entity that has never loved black people. I remember I talked to Dan Henson yesterday. Big ups to Mr. Henson. I remember the Baltimore Sun did a 3-page expose in a Sunday paper on Dan Henson. 3 pages. 3 pages about Dan Henson. You know why? Because they had a problem with a black man with that much authority. He ran the Department of Housing and Community Development, and he also ran the Housing Authority of Baltimore City. Really unprecedented. Kurt Schmoke had that much faith in Dan Henson. They did a 3-page expose, and none of it touched Dan Henson. They called themselves attacking him, but in 3 pages, they could provide nothing. Dan Henson, sharp man. Sharp man. Gave his time serving the city of Baltimore. Now he's doing his development thing private. But we as a people, particularly black people, cannot afford to get all of our news source from Fox because they are making us negative and depressed and hate our own. Willie Lynch. And when I see Kyle Jackson, I just wanna put that elbow on him. Every day he seems to have no problem talking whatever rhetoric they put on there for them to write, to read. He has no problem reading it all. And that's his job. I'm glad I don't have that damn job. I'm glad we got BlackUSA.News. No way I could go on TV every day talking about my people. Knowing the truth. Knowing the damn truth. A lot of dope gets sold in this town. You ain't gonna tell me police aren't getting paid. They've been getting paid. Baltimore's a heroin town. Just amazing to me how long you have to watch a damn corner to see the same people selling dope. A year. You still doing undercover work after 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. What in the hell are you watching? I mean, damn, it don't take much to do some facial recognition. They catch you, they want to catch you. And truth be told, the American government is complicit in this heroin, this cocaine. We had a Chief Ed Foxy in the city of Baltimore. He ran the first wire. The dope don't come into this country without certain people getting the cut. And many of them are white. Can't happen. Black people ain't got no planes. Black people don't make guns. Some black people have planes, but not for all this dope. Did you know that half of the murder victims in America are black people? How the hell are we 13% of the population, but half of the murder victims and half of the murder are people doing time for murder? How does that happen? That doesn't seem hard to you. We don't hate each other that much. Yeah, we have our differences. Every community has its differences. But it's enunciated upon us. It is particularly poignant in our community. Why? Why? I don't know if Ivan Bates is going to make a difference. We're going to see. We're going to see how all of this works together. We're going to see if the state's attorney and the mayor, the mayor, this is what, January, September of this year, Baltimore will be talking about the next election for mayor. They will be talking about the next, what's next? I hear Bob Wallace's name out there. That's nice. I've heard Sheila Dixon's name out there. That's nice. The advantage belongs to the mayor, Brandon Scott, clearly. But I think he's going to need a big win each month because people are not buying it. I don't know what grade you might give the mayor, but these streets of Baltimore, and it's a nationalist, it's across the country, but the consent decree is not helping. This kumbaya approach to law enforcement in the city of Baltimore does not work. I'm not saying zero tolerance. We've just gone too far. Zero tolerance was all the way over here, and now we all the way over there. Why you don't do something right in the middle? We remain the victims of exploited labor from enslavement to incarcerate. How are Black people half of the people in prison? Black women are the fastest growing demographic. So you want to know why you got squeegee kids? It's because of mass incarceration in many, many ways. Undereducation. One other thing. When Martin O'Malley brought Andres Alonzo to the city of Baltimore, I got you. When Martin O'Malley brought Dr. Andres Alonzo to Baltimore, Dr. Andres Alonzo got rid of 75% of the principals, and many of them were Black women. Our greatest educators, among our greatest educators in the city of Baltimore, got rid of 75%. Do you understand what happens when you get rid of 75% of your hitters? These were the people that understood our children. And I'm not saying that white people can't understand our children in the Baltimore City public school system. I am saying, however, we're seeing more and more of our children being placed on Ritalin because white teachers who do not understand Black life, who cannot handle Black young men, want the parents to put their children on Ritalin. Sounds like a whole pre-dope fiend generation. Black parents do not buy that hocus pocus of someone telling you to put your child on Ritalin. Please get a second, third, fourth, and fifth opinion before you make your child into one of those zombies. We have to think for ourselves, folks. America has not been kind to us. Even though, as Delegate Clarence Tiger Davis said last night, even though Black people have put their lives on the line more than any other race in this country, in every major war, in every battle in this country, Black people have fought. Only group of people who have been endured slavery and still fought and bled for this country, including in the Revolutionary War. If you don't know about Blacks in the Revolutionary War, go read about the 1st Rhode Island Regiment. Go read about James Forten, a Black patriot. We need to learn our history. If we knew more of our history, we wouldn't fall for a lot of this hocus pocus that's going on in the city of Baltimore. Undereducation. What company wants to move to a city when you have a city that's marked by having the worst public school system in the state? 23 jurisdictions, Baltimore City and Prince George's County are 23 and 24th. 23rd, 24th at the bottom. Damn, if we don't need a task force. Baltimore, Prince George's have a major problem. Can this new governor address that? You got to roll up your sleeves. Some tough decisions got to be made. Maybe we're too listening to labor union too much. I remember labor gave us a state senator in my district who didn't know a damn job, but labor endorsed her. Labor's not always right. No, the hell they aren't. Labor supported Tom Perez. I haven't seen Tom Perez. I'm a journalist. I haven't seen Tom Perez since 2006. Not in person. He went to the White House. I haven't seen him since. I haven't seen him. And I get around. He in second place. Get out of here, man. Stop playing. But that's politics. The same politics that lets Delegate Marianne Lasante call Prince George's County the nigger district. And she's still involved in politics. That's Maryland for you. We wish the best. I am a realist, though. My dad used to say that. I am optimistic, but I'm a realist. A leopard don't change his stripes. And what will it take? It will take more of us to get involved How many of us know who our state senator is? How many of us don't know who our 3 state delegates are? How many of us know that the state senator and your 3 state delegates have money for your child to go to college? So you got to know who they are, what they do, and some of their abilities. If you don't know, call 410-841-3000. I'm all for a black governor, but I'll be damned if we're just going to give it a pass. You can't give it a pass. We have to hold everybody accountable. It has to be about the service of the people. It has to be about service to the people. It has to be about moving the needle forward. I'm not interested in anything else but progress. Black, white, Asian, Latino, if you ain't doing your damn job, we will be there to report it. We want the best, but don't talk me to death. Show me. $186 million has come through the state of Maryland for sports gambling in 9 days, but we got classrooms without air and heat. That's diabolically evil. And somebody running around talking about term limits. You better pay attention, black people. Stop. You know, we go for the 50 fake out. You know, the head fake? Stop going for the head fake. Where's the damn money? Maryland State Lottery, sports gambling, I think they need to be readdressed. How the hell you got all of this money in your classrooms with no air and no heat? Whose fault is it? Who accepts responsibility for this? Who? 350,000, 250,000 people making top dollar salary. Don't take the damn job if you can't handle the heat. Don't take the job if you can't handle the heat, because we're going to bring it. As always, my name's Doni Glover. Stay focused. If you don't know who your state senator or your state delegate is, find out. Call 410-841-3000. My name's Doni Glover, and have a beautiful day. Good morning, world.